gross.
Beautiful. Smooth sailing on a Friday so far. I'm loving it. GDP Live. How's everybody doing? It is Instagram. Of course. I mute everything else except for that. I feel like that's I feel like that's against me. That's somehow plotting against me, but oh man, like I said, it's Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm Pat George. I'm your host. I'm here coming to you live from the Dobby Robertson Memorial Caddock, where I stream live on Instagram at Baby Mermaid Productions. You can follow us there, Pound Off Live. Ask to join. You can be on the show audio only, on the video later on Facebook and on YouTube. But I go live from Instagram there, and I also go live on Facebook at the Gross Domesticated Podcast page every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. You can join in. You can pound off. Just follow, like, subscribe, review. I like the feedback. Pound off. That's feedback as well. We got Ron's, we got John's, we got everything you need. We got Aspros, Art Dicks, challenges of all sort. We've done spelling bees in the past. There's cool videos on the playlist, on the Gross Domesticated Podcast playlist that you can check out, as well as other podcasts that I produce from Baby Mermaid Productions that you can check out. Falls Count Anywhere. There's new episodes every Monday, usually. Monday, depending, let's say AM ish, afternoon at the latest, depending on how busy I am doing all of my other wares. I'm a jack of all trades and a master of some. Is that the term, or is it none? Because I feel like some of them I'm okay. Like there is the quote. Like I said, there's a quote down in the bathroom that we have on our board that Don put up that says, "Once you understand something, you can master it." I feel like I understand GDP Live a little bit more. More and more I try to. Ron's here. We got both Rons. We got, like I said, we got your Rons. We got your Johns. We got Peeps. We got Poundin'. We got everything you need. John's here. God damn it. I speak of the devil. Every time, I swear to God, it's like he's doing like the perfect wrestling entrance every time on the show, and we never plan it. There's never a plan to have John do a great but every time I go, oh yeah, and then John oh lucky, there he is, John Montag, the host of Hacks, as well as just all around pal, art dick of the show, so Aspro and art dick of the show, associate producer as well as art director. He does all the photoshops that you guys enjoy for each episode, in which he depicts me and or my wife and kitty cats doing funny scenarios. I a lot of times I try to give him a little bit of direction, but it's really hard. It's really hard. Even when he was in quarantine, he's like, I want to catch up on some of these, and I was like, what do you want to talk about? I was like, I don't know. I mean, I can write shit down, but it kind of goes all over the place here. I knew it. He's on the toilet. I know. I even know John's pooping schedule. We're family here, man. Just think about it. GDP Live is almost exactly, like a whole family sharing a house, and we're pounding on the door. Hey, I gotta go in there. You gotta share the bathroom. One bathroom, a big family, all peeping, pounding, not peeping. Hold on, I just said bathroom and then peeping. GD peeps, that's who we are. We're all GD peeps. Ron Barindro, also an art dick of the show. He and Premium Ron, better known as Big Preem. So just to catch everybody up of the show when we do it, and some of the terminology, because there's some people that might be new to this. The best thing that I and my wife Dominique like to hear is people saying that they listen or watch the show because there is audio only versions available again on the same feed that you were on before. So if you were already subscribed to the Gross Domesticated Podcast audio only podcast, that it's the same feed. If you download the episodes, they should save on your phone. But I do erase them when I do update the new one. The longest episodes are the Friday episodes, so let's try to make them bangers, guys. Join in on Instagram Live. If you ask to join in while you're watching the show on Instagram Live, you can hear the audio, or you'll be on the video there, but I do erase that, and your audio will be featured. So join in, call in fucking talk about some shit. We got new COVID stimmies coming. But first, hold on. Let me just let you know about a new Proper Robotics that came out just today. That is with Kirk Griffiths and Alan Massenberg, and and it was a very weird one. It was they started off talking about Kirk getting white. Well, actually, really, house. He's basically just a white suburban housewife in this episode. He's a staunch supporter of Conor McGregor. He's drinking white wine. He's wilding out. It's great. So check it out. That's out on Baby Mermaid Productions YouTube page. If you're watching it here, just check it out. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. Plugs over for right now. We'll take it easy on the plugs because I got some pounding off to read, and we all know how funny it is when I read. So I love that. I love my family, and I still interact with this family more often. Wow, that's really nice. I feel like, yeah, actually, that's kind of true. Like I realized recently. so not only I mentioned on the last episode that my mom had left me a voicemail saying saying, oh, I watched the latest episode of your podcast. I didn't get to see it live, but what's this about hurting your arm and blah blah blah, and like, and again, sure, I'm talking about hurting my arm and I have it in a sling and all this stuff, but I bought the sling. I didn't think it was important to call and say like, Mom, I went to CVS, I bought a sling because my arm hurt. But I do talk to John multiple days a week, and and unless they're actually pounding off in the comments, usually, yeah, I don't really talk, and that is strange. But I do. There was another incident where my brother was pounding off after one episode. I guess I had mentioned that I was cooler. I did. By the way, I don't think I even mentioned which brother. I have two brothers. If you remember from the spelling bee between me and John, I have two brothers, and I did mention on, I guess, one of the episodes that I was cooler. I ended up feeling that I was cooler than my brother, but I think I said brothers. And either way, he took it as a direct insult and pounded off about, hey, hey, oh, that hurts, And it's like, hey, it happens. Once you go live, can't go back. That's the phrase, right? John's also saying that this has become a crowdsourced tomfoolery. And hey, guess what? I'm here for it. That's exactly what it is. Crowdsourced tomfoolery. I was just joking. I heard it's funny because Dom, the last episode I did by myself, where I was talking about a possibility of starting an Amazon wish list, and then the realization of how similar I'm molding GDP Live around being basically just a cam girl, but without any nudity, sexuality, or anything, because I kind of have to I'm still trying to keep it on YouTube. So it's still trying to keep one of those things, but essentially it's the same pieces as just as a cam girl. You got your, hey guys, I got my tip jar. Hey, but I heard her, she was listening to the most recent episode of that in the shower this morning. That's right. And I heard her LOL, as the kids say. And I go, oh Jesus, what is this? What can I what can I continue to exploit for last? Because honestly, if it makes her laugh, I use her as a bar for a lot of jokes. There's a lot of times that if I'm recording a set or something like that, and I do a joke, or I'm working on a joke at an open mic, or it's a set or a certain part of a joke or something like that. If she laughs so loud it ruins my tape, then I don't need the tape. I already know what the winner, you know what I mean? I know it works. It's fine. So I use her as a bar a lot of times. So if she's LOLing in the shower, if I almost got her falling out in the shower in the morning, that's what I want. I want that, like, strictly all the content that I produce, that I'm trying to put out there, is to bring joy or laughter. I swear to God. I know it sounds lame to be, hey, Genuine Pat is here in the first fucking 15 minutes of the show. And he's here to say, genuinely, I want it to feel like family, just like John was saying. I want it to feel, and that's the thing, is your family can come in here too, but we're going to talk about dildos every once in a while. We're going to talk about ghosts, and I'm trying to even look at what honestly, none of the stuff, it never looks offensive on paper, but a lot of times when you filter it through here, through my brain here, then it's rough. It turns it turns into weird things. There was almost immediately one time where I believe my mom had joined in, or no, it was somebody joining in, one of her coworkers at work, and they said, "Hey, me and your mom and everybody are watching in the break room or whatever it is, back in Florida." And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." Blah blah blah. And like almost in like a couple of minutes, another family member of mine, Ron Kane over here, and I started talking about sex toys and how weird it is. And then that even ended up turning into something that, like, if I know it's funny, I just, you got to go for it. That's just, maybe that's the entertainer part of it. But either way, the Amazon, the wish list of me realizing I'm a cam girl essentially, just without any of the funness. And then there, see, and then I think that's the point, John. Also, anytime John goes like, "Hey, so what are you thinking about for the show tomorrow?" I have no idea, because once I'm done talking about this stuff, usually it's just it's gone. But super great Photoshop idea. Okay, uh, cam girl, cam girl Pat. That's, I'm gonna look. I'm even writing it down. That's how responsible I am. I'm trying to be prepared. I do pre-production, education. The show has everything. Music eventually sometimes, you know. Been doing a lot of side work, so I haven't really had a lot of time to work on the instrument album, but I every time I get a chance, like if I'm editing up here or something like that, I grab an instrument and just start that sounds really bad. I grab an instrument and I just start playing around with it. You know what I mean? I'm all about playing with my instruments. GDP Live is, if nothing, about playing with your instruments. Please join in, pound off. That's not metaphorical, apparently, in this statement. Literally, just, John's on the toilet. I don't know what else he does on there. I don't know how many holes he occupies on the toilet. See, I said holes. I feel like holes is a dirty, somehow dirtier than saying, like, if I just said asshole. And I don't know. You say holes, you're picturing all of them, you know? Or at least I am. John, how are your holes? Got good holes today? Once you go live, it's anything to survive. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's actually that's a way better term, Ron. Ron Kane pounding off real hard. Quote Ron Kane, once you go live, it's anything to survive. So that means I'm going to talk about if I think I'm cooler than my brother, hurting my arm, whether or not I've given my mom the update. And honestly, because that's what I'm doing. I'm updating all of my families, all all over. It's very practical, this GDP live. It's me going, this essentially, just think about it as a day. I don't know why I keep waving my arm like that. It's like a every other day ish Christmas card with one of the, but just the update part. I try to make the picture, you know what I mean? I try to give you the full thing, but if you just want to listen, that's fine too. If you just want to read the letter that I wrote inside is, oh, so anyway, I went to the, because honestly, day to day, it's not very exciting. There's not very exciting. Still I still am not sure where, like, obviously everybody's fed up with the pandemic shit, but like I still don't know where it like officially is pandemic wise. So like, what am I supposed to do? What can I do? Am I supposed to wear 3 masks, 4 masks? So it's like, it's just easier to just to continue to work and communicate via content. Good old practical Pat. So genuine Pat and practical Pat were both sitting here apparently the whole time. I had no idea. So we got more top tank. Oh, I never said I was pooping. I just said I was sitting on the toilet. Sorry, I was misled by myself, John. I apologize about that. John Montag, Aspro and Art Dick of the show, is was just sitting on the toilet, just hanging out. Also, John says he says top tank. Okay, so he was just sitting. So you had your feet on the seat part of it, and you're sitting on the back. Okay, on the lid, essentially the literal lid, not like the lid of the seat lid. That's the actual lid of the toilet. That's where you make the wine, baby. A lot of times when people go like, "Oh, yeah, it's disgusting, drink toilet wine," I don't think they make it in the bowl part. I think they make it in the tank. I think toilet wine. If I'm correct, they didn't cover this on Proper Ebonics when they were talking about all the wine. But they did talk about, let's see, toilet wine. Google search. Let's go, Google. I'm gonna look up images of it. Nope, it's the bowl. Wow. All right. I tried to help, but this guy's just got a bag of wine and a lot of sweet prison tattoos. So it looks like, yeah, I guess they do make it in the bowl. That just doesn't make sense to me, though. I mean, you got where do you poop? John, you ever drink toilet wine? This is my state of the union. I like that. I try to do that. I ate an entire box of Little Debbie fancy cakes last night and feel gross. I love your transparency, Ron. Big Preem pounding off hard as well early this Friday morn, or late Friday morn. Oh, there it is, live fart. I think I had too much. I had those. I have like even my splurging now. I feel like I'm still really sensitive to fucking chocolate and shit, which is just awful. It's just it's not the worst thing that could happen. Obviously, I'm not allergic to it or anything, but it's just one of those things, man. But I have like really shitty impulse control. So if I have sugar in the house, I fucking lose my mind and fucking I have to eat it all so it's gone and I don't have it in the house anymore. Does that make sense? So Ron, if I can say, Big Preem pounding off in the comments, if you ate a whole box of Little Debbie cakes, that just means that now you don't have any more to eat. Perfect. And you feel shitty now, just just drink some water, try to rehydrate, and recover. But now you don't have them in the house. Ta-da! You always got to look for a silver lining. If you eat a whole box of Girl Scout cookies, that means you don't have a whole box of Girl Scout cookies to eat in the house. It's gone. It's efficient. Get it all done. Get all of your emotional eating done. One fail swoop. Yeah. Then there's no more cookies. And then buy that if you buy enough cookies and you have even a week uh like amount of stuff, like if you have very little self-control, you will be able to time out the Girl Scout cookie season. We ordered like 7 boxes initially, and at first we're like, okay, so we'll have maybe just 2 servings each of cookies, and we will enjoy those. And then like within a day or two, I ate a whole fucking box of Samoas. We ate, like, we were just kind of picking at them, and then I was just like, we're eating the whole box, right? Like, I'm not closing this box. You might as well open the cardboard and just throw it in the recycling immediately. Open the tinfoil part because it comes in one of the foil packages. Take that little plastic tray out and just set it on the table. Keep Stanley away from it and just eat every single Caramel Delight for some reason, which was renamed for no particular reason. Just some of the distributors changed the name. We don't know why. I renamed them Samoas because, oh boy, I have one and I want Samoa. I want Samoa until they're all gone and then there's no more. I don't get sad because I get relieved that I won't have to deal with saying, no, Pat, only 2, because it's really hard to do that. But it's a good exercise every once in a while. So I don't know if you were trying to do that, Ron, and you were trying to be somebody who was like, I'm gonna buy the Little Debbie cakes and I'm gonna have one for dessert every night, even if it's every night. It's like one of those things that's then I would be like, oh man, bummer. But really, that just means you don't have more to eat. You're fine. It's good. John's pounding off. He said, Patty toilet wine, sommelier George, Photoshop idea. Perfect. Boom. There you go. See that? Toilet wine, Pat. See this? I'm writing them down. That way we'll remember for future things. You guys aren't going to remember me saying, or if you do, you say, wait, we never saw that Photoshop idea. And then that'll just mean that John's Google searches went dry. You know? He wasn't able to find something. I honestly, the ones that he gave me that we put in the file to-do list for topics coming up, or maybe we're gonna cover today. Who knows? I'm very happy with them. You know what I mean? John always does excellent work. John is an excellent photoshopper. He photoshops very well. Every time he photoshops a Photoshop for me, he photoshops it well. I think I can do good with the accent if I say Photoshop. Photoshop or water ice. Favorite accent. Love it. Yeah, you don't have to spell it right. I know what you meant. Sommelier. I don't know. I don't even know if that's even how you say it. So if you were to, if you spelled it that way, initially I would have been sommelier. No, it's a sommelier. That's the guy who spits out wine, or lady that spits out wine. Could be a lady that spits out wine as well. Anybody. It's a wine expert that drinks it and spits it out. It's somebody who, at the surface, would appear to hate wine and spit out every fucking sip they put in their mouth, but in reality, they actually really do enjoy it and know a lot about it. So that's free knowledge right there. That's for you. Nah, that's cool. I bought 2 boxes. Uh-oh. Ron. See, that's not a habit you want, right? If you're working on self-control, stop buying boxes of Little Debbie. But what kind again? What kind of cake? I also shout out for buying Little Debbie. I don't know where you're actually located, Ron Barindro, but there is absolutely I haven't seen as much Little Debbie. It's a lot of tasty cakes around here because it's PA and everything. But I do appreciate a nice Swiss cake roll. I like Swiss cake roll, zebra cakes, stuff like that. Not as accessible, so I don't know. And also cool that you bought them. That would be Pat hasn't eaten lunch yet, shopping while high purchase. That one of those things of like, I've done so well, I've stuck to the list that I'm going to treat myself by going off the list and buying 4 boxes of either traditional zebra cakes or whatever seasonal zebra cake they may be. So if they transform it into the Christmas trees for the holidays, and then they whatever that is, that's my go-to. I don't know what it is. I fucking love zebra cakes. If you really want to divide your timeline, put up one of those. Dom showed it to me the other day. They're always so easy for me, and they're always so easy for everybody. But when you share your results, you ultimately will have at least 5 or 6 strong unfollows, unfriends possibly, and most of the reacts you've ever gotten on a post ever. Post one of those things about 2 of these gotta go, and she showed me one that was fast food, and the big mistake they made was that they had KFC and Popeyes. So again, for me, that's a no-brainer. I'm gonna go Popeyes, and not just because of the chicken sandwich. Their chicken's better, but some people think their chicken sucks compared to that. So it's weird though. I did a snack cake version of it, and we talked about somebody like there was so many people that were, I can't remember which one it was, but like some people were like, oh, which one are your top 3 that you have to have, everything else goes, or something like that. And like some of them were like, some people were like snowballs or this, or like, what the fuck? Like, I like them. Hey, they're great, sure, whatever. But then somebody would be like, oh yeah, get rid of zebra cakes, those are garbage. And I'm like, what? Come on. Zebra cakes and Swiss cake rolls are 2 things that if I bought a box of them, I would probably fucking wreck them in a day, but not maybe in one sitting. In a day for sure. Swiss cake rolls, half the box is gone when I get home. Maybe even when I get in the car, dude. I fucking love Swiss cake rolls. We got some pounding off here. Sorry, you like the dramatic pause. I forget that we have the audio only as well, but that was just me. I just wanted to let that thought sit. I want to, as well as read to myself, because we got some more pounding. John says, I love you Philly accent has a slight tinge of Kelly Surf Bro. I love you. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Uh it's like I Point Break was filmed at Breeze. That's a Philly neighborhood. Oh, I like that. Point Breeze. Ugh. Fancy cakes are zebra cakes and with no chocolate. Oh, fancy cakes? What are that's hold on, fancy cakes. So here we go. See how Pat reacts? See how Pat also talks in third person again? Fancy cakes. I'm excited to hear about this. I you know what? That's a show. Fancy cakes. Is there a brand? What is fancy cake? Not plain. Ornamental or decorative. A fancy cake. Yeah, I don't think that. I think that's like a I think what he's talking about with no chocolate. So I don't know what that is, but I like there's a show that they have like the fast food fucking warrior things or fast food challenge or some shit like that. That's uh people recreating really popular fast foods, I guess. And one of them I would like to do that with like the little Debbie cakes. That'd be cool as shit to learn how to bake Swiss cake roll. Like they can do one of those big super duper log things, but I want to do like the little ones. But that mirrored chocolate, like to do it legit to actual like where it's not like just super duper preservative shit. I think you'd have to like it's a lot of work. And maybe see okay, so maybe silver lining to that would be that you wouldn't eat them as fast, right? Maybe you would eat them slower because you knew I had to put a lot of time into this mirrored chocolate. I had to roll every one of these little motherfuckers. I had to put the frosting in the middle. You have to do it like to where the I do know this from watching British Bake Off. I'm gonna flex a little bit, guys. You have to wait for the cake to cool a little bit, but not too much because then it'll break. Right? I think that's right because that's the point. That's why you let the cake sit or things sit after they bake so they can set. Guys, you got to think about it. That's why the time limit is such a factor. It's not the skill, guys, it's the time management. It's very important. Time management is key in every cooking show. So if you want to check out an awesome cooking show that will make you feel totally inadequate about cooking and feel like you could never ever do it, then check out the British Baking Show. I'm sure you've heard of it. But no, I would like a show like that, but where they do like zebra cakes, and then maybe that's the point. Maybe there is something like that. Like those are just littler versions of those fancy things that they do in the British Bake Off. Like when they do one of those whatever, big ass rolls of whatever. I think that's what it's officially known as. Did you end up watching Blown Away? It's basically a cooking contest about show, but for glass blown. Oh no, yeah, that's Dom watches that. Dom, literally, if you start the sentence, "Did you watch?" She either has or will. And I would hate for people to abuse this, but people anything she watches, and there's oftentimes it's so strange. She will hold off on things, and sometimes it's like we've never even met. But it's funny because like she's usually right. And don't let her. She's probably listening to this. This will be the next humongous cheer that I hear from the bathroom when she's listening. Is uh, is the fact that most of the time when I watch something, I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. I don't whatever, but I just if it's not like it's so strange with me. It's so fucking weird in particular. Like I'd rather watch nothing but like live. I think that's the point. And something that the pandemic definitely brought out and exposed for me personally was uh my love of live events. Like it has to there's something about that aspect of it. And that's like kind of so that and like also just strictly things that I'm interested in. And I don't, it's not that I'm saying that Dom is not interested in everything she watches, but she admittedly will say that she doesn't like a show and she will watch the whole show. I don't identify with that whatsoever. So it's not that it's not that it's not that I don't trust her when she says I think you would like this or whatever, but there's a lot of it that it like uh it's just like it could be, it's like take a lot of stuff is take it or leave it. Most stuff is take it or leave it. Like I really liked Breaking Bad. That was cool. That was a fun show. Like I wouldn't go like, oh, it's genius, fucking greatest, but it's just a really fun suspenseful show. It's cool like to revisit it. It's I think the same thing with The Boys. I really the most recent one that I took the suggestion of, and not that it hadn't been. I know Manny had suggested it to me before, but that's the point. Is like it's there's just a thing that it's not that I don't think people are right. I just classically am not a person that takes. It's so fucking weird. So like a lot of this, a lot of even the show of GDP has been like accountability to that. Like learn new words so you can, because you're talking to people, stupid. Know more. Learn more, stupid. That's me to me. That's my motivation. It's okay. But it's also next time dom next time Dom is on, I will call in to discuss Blown Away. Okay, good. Because that's another thing too. She's got to have people to talk to about it. But she watches the challenge a lot of times. She watches the, like, I was like, I don't but it's like invested too. Like I think that she just has it on for background noise. So there is some things that like she does watch religiously and actually really do enjoy. And then there's other things that she'll just be like, "Yeah, I watched the first season. It was all right." Like, yeah, I can see that. But The Boys was something that recently that I was like, "Oh, that was really cool." Yeah, you nailed it on that one. It was a show I liked. And then sometimes it's just it's maybe it's I don't know. It's just it's my personal weird, like I'll just get distracted. If I get distracted, I get distracted easily. But there's shows that we started, like I liked Lovecraft Country quite a bit at the start, and then it just got so fucking confusing that I was like, you can keep watching this, I'll come in and out, because watching episode to episode isn't helping me follow along at all. So I can just, if I do enjoy the visuals, or like, hey, this is a cool part or whatever, but like really it's not that it was, it wasn't that it was bad, it just wasn't something that I did like it. Like the subject matter was something that I liked, but it was something also that like I didn't it didn't flow the story. Maybe it was the fact that I was not able to follow the story. That's very, very yeah, Ozark was decent, but it was also like it's just kind of Breaking Bad. Like Ozark is kind of like a Breaking Bad, but with just a different cast and a different setting, which is why I'm like, yeah, I like it. It wasn't I don't think it was any better or worse necessarily. So like it's on par. To say it's on par with Breaking Bad is actually a great compliment. So I would say, yeah, I think Ozark was really good. But it was also one of those things of like I felt like after season, I think 2, was it season 2? I don't want to give anything away. I don't even remember how many fucking seasons there are. That's another thing, man. With streaming and being able to just fucking binge through this shit, a lot of times that ruins that. I feel like takes some of the spectacle away, except for the fact that I really liked Sopranos and we binged the fuck out of that. We didn't have to wait week to week for that. So who knows? Hold on, we got more pounding here. Ozark was slow but consistent throughout. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that. Actually, I would even say that it got a little bit better. And there was something weird about that first season. That the who's the lady? The lady in the fuck. God damn it. His wife, Mrs. Ozark. Uh fuck. But the scene of her cheating on her husband or whatever, like the scene where like she's getting like like just wailed upon by that wiener, the the tape that gets sent to him or whatever, like that. It's the same feeling I got for when I watched Black Mirror, the first episode of Black Mirror, of that thing of like, oh my god, what the fuck would you do? What's going on? And his life, and like the whole time of, it's just, if they would just communicate, or I said they should just get divorced. They need to get divorced. What is wrong with them? There's a lot of times like that. But it is very much like Breaking Bad, but just in a different, it's almost like how they did what's American Horror Story? Is that right? I don't know if all those stories connected, but they did. No. So it was like, yeah, it was the same cast but different stories. So it's like that. It felt like that. I think a lot of shows are doing that, that kind of model. We got more pounding off. Original Ron's pounding off. Ron Kane. I found that since lockdowns, etc., I have hate. I now hate watching TV. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. Also, Ron Barindro, Big Preem, he's pounding off. He says, I never watched Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones. Cool guy. And he put the sunglass emoji because he knows he's a cool guy for not watching those shows. The Game of Thrones, you're not really missing much. It's it's dragons, it's fucking people die, and they sometimes they die and they come back. It's like Harry Potter, but like with a lot less magical lasers. That's why I always said like Harry Potter was better than Lord of the Rings, because they have all the same, they got the cloaks and the funny hats, and they're doing all the shit and the spells and whatever like everybody else is doing, but they also have like lasers. So like Star Wars is great because they have lasers, right? That's the reason everybody loves Star Wars, is because there's lasers. So if you have the same thing with wizards, but now they have lasers, boosh, there you go. That's the key to success. Same thing with dragons and Game of Thrones. If you get the magic, you get the hats, you get the dumb shit, but then you go like, oh, there's dragons. There's promise of dragons. People go like, oh, there's gonna be dragons in this HBO show. There's lots of titties. I got dragons and titties elsewhere, okay? But it's some people, they fucks with it. Montag is also pounding off a little bit. He says if they got if they got divorced, Ozark, it would have been 2 episodes. Yeah, that's what I said. I said a million times to Dom. I was like, if they would have gotten divorced when he found out she was cheating, this show is done. It's not, there's nothing. There's no incident. That's the first episode. I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything with that. But at that point, by the way, hold on, let me actually look up Ozark cast, because I gotta whatever that I want to. I don't want to. Laura Linney, man, oh man, like just gorgeous, and honestly incredible. Like that, why does everybody like kiss Meryl Streep's ass? Laura Linney murders it. And I'm not saying that she's better because of her looks. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that because of her fucking acting. She's way more believable than that stupid hack Meryl Streep. Outlaw Pat's here. That's right. I haven't seen Mr. Robot. Ron, Big Preem's asking me about Mr. Robot. I've never seen Mr. Robot. Not a fan of robots, as you guys know. But I don't know. That's a Rodney Malik, right? I that's somebody that I know his name. I like, if I saw him, I'd go like, oh, that's a famous guy. I know that person. But like, I think I've seen the Queen movie he's in, or he plays Freddie Mercury, right? That's the same guy. So like, I've seen that guy. I know his name. I know things about him, but I haven't seen anything else by him that I know, that I can think of off the top of my head. But I don't know. There's like I watch ghost video things. Actually, you know what? Give me great ghost or paranormal like suggestions for that stuff. That's more my alley. Like people that go like, "Would you like this produced television show?" Nah. if I happen to stream, if I happen to like stumble upon one, I might do that. Or if I'm interested, like that's the thing is I there's been plenty of times where I've seen like previews for shows or movies, and I'll see like, oh my god, this is incredible. I fucking want to see this. Like this is gonna be the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then like you go to see it and you're like, and it happens a lot of times, you know, all the good parts or funny parts are in the previews. They did, you know, and you feel like you've been taken advantage of. But I don't feel as bad because it's like, you know, now I know. It's not that you can only go by what you think you'll like. If somebody starts explaining something and it sounds really interesting, you write it down. It doesn't matter. It's so fucking weird. As soon as that conversation ends, or as soon as I leave that room, like it's like it goes out of my head as far. And then even when I go over my notes later on, like I never think of those things when I am thinking of something to watch. So maybe I should just start putting. I'll just add them right directly to my queue on Netflix as I think of them. He just likes to show his teeth. Yeah, I can see that. Rodney Malik. Rodney Malik isn't his name. It's Ramy. I know his name precedes the name wrong. Ramy. Never mind. You got it right. Romney? Is it Romney Malik? Okay, hold on. I'm a little far away. Second. Let me. What is it? What's the name of that one? We Will Rock You. Queen movie. I put movies. God damn it. Queen movie. There we go. Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh. His name is Rami. Doesn't really look. I mean, he looked a little bit like Freddie Mercury. Mr. Robot. Little Things. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, BoJack Horseman. So maybe I've heard him. Even that, like after 2 seasons of it, I was like, okay, I get it. You know, there's something about it, man. Like it when a show becomes so self-aware. I like the times when it's figuring it out. Something about it, like season 1 of a lot of shows, I fucking love. I might watch season 1 of Dexter today. I might just binge that whole thing. That's another thing too. I'll revisit shows that I've watched already plenty of times. I'll rewatch a lot of shows too. I don't mind giving my time to art I've already seen. I have no mind. I have no mind. I've made no mystery of my love of The Irishman. The whole thing from start to finish. Whenever I think of it, I did not. Nobody brought it up except for me, so obviously it doesn't follow the rule. And today, obviously, I am very dedicated to watch Dexter now. I'm going to watch the first season of Dexter. I don't oftentimes love pilots of shows, like the initial show, but if I do end up liking the pilot, usually I'm going to like that show. Uh, and sometimes I will still give it 2 episodes because I know a lot of times the first episode, they're like, you got to establish all the characters, got to give blah, 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 all this shit, like all in one. You can't just let it happen. But Dexter's a show that I think really handles that. The first 4 seasons are no pun intended killer. Those are fucking excellent seasons. I love that television is great. And yes, even the books are great. I know I've said that before, but um that was awesome. I'm an idiot. Hold on. Rami, that was awesome. Ron was really appreciating John's stupidity. As was I, to be completely honest. He's a goddamn national treasure. That's absolutely right, John is. Wait, hold on. John Montag? Because I'll agree. I thought you called him Rodney. Curse no. I'm pretty sure I did say Rodney. I think I might have said Rodney or Romney. I don't know his name. But the point is, I don't think you should be stunned in any instance of how I said his name because I believe the sentence started with me proclaiming my ignorance of who the fuck he is aside from the guy who played Queen and he's also in that show iRobot or something robot. No, Rami, Reno, or what? Yeah, yeah, whatever his name is. I guess he's a great actor, but I don't. I mean, the Queen movie was all right. I don't know, but I'm excited about the new COVID stimmies that are coming in. I don't know. I saw that it was 1.9 trillion dollars, and which is neat. But what's my cut? Because I do understand that the more that they're just giving us money, the more that it's like kind of it devalues money. I think the more like money that they give, I don't know exactly how it works. Trust me. Yeah, I know I don't have to explain how I my ignorance of that, um but I don't know I just want to know what my cut is, man. Like I want to know I want to know how much I'm getting, and I want to you got to spend it or actually really do something that I've been doing, right? I got some new lighting for the studio here, and I tried to I bought it with the business account, the Baby Mermaid Productions card that I have, and I I got it. I have a boost set up through that I was earning Bitcoin as I go. So your boy's an investor now. Third Photoshop idea, Patty Stonk. That's me. I'm a Patty Stonk agent, and I'm here to learn all about because that was the thing. I just talked to somebody that was like, "Oh, I got in super early and like not super early, but like the second wave, early wave. You know what? Not even like recently, but like even 10 years ago or 14 years. I can't remember how long ago it was that he was talking about it. But he's just talking just Bitcoin. See, that's the point. Is like when people start talking about like very detailed parts of stocks or money management or anything like that, I feel like my brain just goes like just shuts off, and it's bad. It turns bad. It's bad, bad, bad. So, but he was saying how important or how valuable he feels Bitcoin is becoming, as well as how like I did understand the fact that like I do know the more money they print, the less valuable money is, like ultimately. But before that hits, you got to spend that money while you can, while it still has that value, and buy as many zebra cakes as you can. So I think I'm going to invest myself into some zebra cakes, as well as Bitcoin. But if for like it was something for every dollar you spend, you get this point blah 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 of Bitcoin. So I got a couple dollars in Bitcoin now. Your boy's gonna be I'm gonna be rolling in it. I might buy some game stock as well. I think that's still a hot buy. Probably I'm probably a little late to the party there, but don't want to be accused of insider trading or anything like that. Bitcoin and zebra cakes. I feel like those are two investments that I need to make because it's honestly it's a buy market right now for little Debbie cakes, especially for somebody like Ron who ate a whole box last night. He's gonna definitely need to buy more little Debbie cakes. If I'm gonna give you a suggestion now, it's buy the little Debbie cakes, Ron. Bring them over to my house. Buy the little Debbie cakes. Okay. Uh, hey, Trish is here. Hi, how's it going, Trish to Dish? I don't think it's the Trish that John knows though. Diversify your currency for when the dollar crashes. Right. I think that's right. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to do that. John's also saying looks like it's $2,800 for married couples eating under $100,000 a year. Okay, I gotcha. Fire up the pressure and roll it out. It doesn't matter at this point. Fire up the pressure and roll it out. Roll out it out. Oh, what? I'm very confused. I'm sorry, Ron. You know I can't read. That's what I'm saying though. I bought like if whatever comes in the stimulus now, maybe I'll just buy I'll take all of that money and just buy I'll buy Bitcoin, you know? Maybe I'll make one of those computers that just makes me Bitcoin throughout the day. Just gives me Bitcoin. Maybe I'll get a 3D printer to 3D print me some Bitcoin. Don't worry, I can't read. Ron says he can't type. I can't read. It's a we'll share this one equally. But yeah, oh shit. Did I have a request here? So sorry about that. I apologize. I missed a request. That's my bad. If you do want to join the show, you can ask to join, and I will pay attention a little bit more to the screen up there. I apologize about that, Trish. I missed a chance for somebody to join in the show. If you'd like to join in the show, ask to join, and I will remember to hit that. See, Ron, I was so preoccupied trying to read, I couldn't even read that up there. That's my bad. That doesn't show up down here. It's really frustrating. But yeah, I'm gonna try to whenever possible. That's slick stuff that people, it's more stuff that people didn't tell you a lot of times growing up. It was, get this credit card with this interest rate, all this shit. I'm just like, I don't have fucking, but now we got credits. We're gonna do, make the credit good. we gotta do shit like this. And just when we're getting good at money, that's when all these other goddamn currencies are coming in. So I'm trying to get ahead of the curve here. So I appreciate it, Ron. That's exactly what I need to do. I need to diversify my portfolio or something. And I basically just talk to people that know more about this shit. Really, maybe Ben Askren before he gets knocked the fuck out. I didn't know he was a crypto specialist. Not a crypto. And that's the thing. I'm a cryptozoological enthusiast. I'm a big fan of a lot of cryptos in that sense. So I was just recently, I was on a episode. I don't know when it'll be coming out. I believe they said it was going to be sometime in February. But I was on a show called Real Chills, and it's a lot about paranormal experiences and or stories that you have. I was on that, and I will make sure to plug the shit out of that when it comes out because it was a lot of fun to do. I told a couple stories that I had. I won't spoil them here, but I did find out about a new cryptid. So cryptocurrency obviously caught my ear because it sounds like cryptid, which is obviously your Bigfoots, your Loch Ness, you got a couple others, and we talked a bit about what our favorite cryptids are, and I found out about a new one that I had never heard about, and it was called the squonk. The squonk is a mythical creature reputed to live in Hemlock Forest of northern Pennsylvania. Legends of squonks probably originated in the late 19th century at the height of Pennsylvania's importance in the timber industry. So I guess squonks were pretty important in the early 19th century. The earliest known written account of squonks comes from the book by William T. Cox called Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods. I want to fucking see now. That's a book I'll read right there. What is it called again? Hold on a second now. Fearsome Creatures. Add this to my wish list. I'll add this to my Amazon wish list. And when I do my cam show later on, you guys can tip me with it. Fearsome Creatures of hold on now of the Lumberwoods. Maybe it's on audio. Maybe I can get the audio version of this. Lumberwoods. Fearsome creatures with a few desert and mountain beasts. Oh, that's just there's more. Jesus. So it's the Lumberwoods, desert and mountains. So there's tons of beasts. So it's kind of like real life Harry Potter shit. The legend holds that the creature's skin is ill-fitting, being covered with warts, and that because it is ashamed of its appearance, it hides in plain sight and spends most of its time weeping. Hunters who have tried catching squonks have found out that the creature is capable of dissolving completely into a pool of tears and bubbles when cornered. Sorry, tears and bubbles. A man named JT Jesus Wentling is supposed to have coaxed the creature into a bag of which when he carried it home it suddenly lightened. Oh, okay, I get it. Upon further inspection he found out that it remained what it that all that remained was liquid remains of the sad animal. The scientific name of the squonk, uh, Lacomarcorpus dissolvens. Excuse me, Jesus Christ! I think I just cast a spell. Comes from the Latin words meaning tear, body, and dissolve. There's further reading here. The squonk, from Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods, by William T. Cox, and The Squonk, Fearsome Critters, 1939, by Henry T. Tyron. So earliest accounts is 1910. Jesus Christ. Oh no. I have it. I have like $14 in change just like reading about crypto. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think honestly if this is even a little bit real, like the images of it look crazy. It looks like just kind of like a like you got to look it up. Look up the squonk. That's SQUONK, and that was suggested to me. That's Meg Getz's new favorite cryptid. That's one of her new favorite ones. I'm always looking for new ones, but I'm gonna look for that fearsome creatures of the lumber woods because that is definitely an interest of mine. I'm late to the party. I know nothing about crypto. No. This is I'm talking about cryptids at this point. This is the squonk. This is not I know it's pretty funny though because you would think that if I'm saying uh I did talk about cryptos earlier or cryptid whatever. Cryptids are what made me interested in crypto because the fact of cryptids are Bigfoot, your Loch Ness and whatnot. So the new one is the squonk that I'm very much interested in. Shout out to Meg Getz for suggesting, or not even suggesting, just telling me about the squonk in general. But I might buy that book whenever I get my new stimulus, whatever the fuck it is, and the rest of it. So I'm gonna spend whatever I can on my new fearsome creatures of the Lumberwoods book that I'm gonna get, and then everything else is going into crypto. So it's all crypto and cryptids, baby. That's what I'm investing in. Mysterious creatures of the woods, as well as mysterious finances of the internet. Whatever, like he explained them so well to me. The person that I'm talking about, like he explained them, but I don't know. I don't know if it's like a like it's not even. It's just my brain just goes like just like powers down. Like it knows to preserve energy for a conversation that I'm going to be more knowledgeable about. But if I can just do like even if I mean, there's a risk that I'm going to get Wolf of Wall Streeted or what was the other guy, Bernie Madoff, you know. But there's like that's kind of how you have to do it. This is actually how I was talking about mechanics earlier. Was when unless you personally know how to work on cars, you have like the likelihood you're going to have to rely on somebody, and most likely unfortunately you're going to get taken advantage of, and not in every case, and that's definitely not in every case, but there's just like it's like an unwritten rule that like you don't trust it because you don't understand it. So like that's the thing is you once well, after a while, and then it's also like you build also customer service into that same interaction, and then you're like it's just a recipe for fucking disaster. Like you're fucked because you have to deal with you have to be good with talking to people. It's like doctors. It's really interesting. It's so much like doctors that like you have to be very skilled in every possibility. Like that's the thing is like people take their car and that's been uh joked about on commercials I've seen in the past about for cars like they bring the car and they go it's making a sound or like you have to like they have to diagnose that. It's the same thing like my arm's clicking when I move it or I can't move my hand like this or something whatever it is. They have to like assess the situation every time and there's somewhat of a time frame. There's time frame on it too. You need your body, you need your human vehicle as well as your regular vehicle. But it is the exact same problem I have with a lot of doctors. I don't like going to the doctor because I want a doctor that has personality. I want a doctor that is not just a fucking that has bedside manner, that understands human being stuff. And working in a lot of times in past jobs in medical environments around like nurses and doctors and stuff like that, everybody goes like is immediately like they're just some of the greatest people. No, not necessarily. They're just people just like us, and it's more important for them to be better, like to be like how a lot of like how some companies that are just offering maybe other services like food and drink or whatever, but decide to give better service. Like Chick-fil-A is one of those. Starbucks is another one. You know what I mean? Like the ones where like like yeah, they're still a corporation. They still like they need fucking profits, but also they want to be like something a little bit better than just the profits. And that's my humble opinion, but we got some more pounding off here. If getting Wolf of Wall Streeted means I get to fuck Margot Robbie, then count me in. Margot Robbie equals Jamie Jamie Presley clone. Yeah, that's actually really true. Big Preem is absolutely right about that. Ron Barindro pounding off hard in the comments. I like that. Uh, John's also saying, yeah, Ron, a side by side pics of them is alarm. Yeah, it's crazy. That's nuts. Ron, breaking news. Big premium Ron Barendro on any of your social medias. Well, I guess just he's not on Facebook, I found out, but on Instagram at Ron Barendro just uncovered the fact that maybe, just maybe, Margot Robbie is Jamie Presley. Maybe it's the time machine thing. Maybe she's getting a second chance. Maybe Jamie Presley was like, wait, I can act. Like, what the fuck? Why am I just in Maxim and like Joe Dirt and shit? Love Joe Dirt, but like, not an Oscar winner. I'm here for clone the sexy. Enough with cloning sheep. Absolutely right, John. John Montag pounding hard. I like that one. Robbie is so much more hot. Okay, see, John, we got to help people like Ron Kane, guys. If we got one Ron. We're at 50% Ron on this. We need 100% Ron on this, guys. We got 100% of our Johns on this, and Ian's. Karen's not here today. She's probably at school, but I'm sure she would probably disagree with you, Ron Kane. Margot Robbie is simply just Jamie Priestley, and that's that. Genuine Pat out. No, I think Wolf of Wall Street. Oh, hold on. No, yeah, I think sci-fi. I think that's a great movie, actually. Now that I think about it, Margot Robbie, like, you know how they had JCVD because like Jamie Priestley was like a pretty big star for at least like a while. Like she was in a lot of movies and a lot of shows for a long time. Maybe there's something like that, like a redemption type movie, like a self-aware kind of thing of like, oh fuck, I fucked up, and she does go back and jokingly, like they did it in Last Action Hero. This would be a show. This would be a version of the like them redoing the same premise from another movie that I would actually be on board with. If they did it, like if anybody remembers the movie, The Last Action Hero, it stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he in the movie is playing an actually. It's like a very self-aware action movie. I love that movie. He plays an action movie. I think it's something Kincaid or something like that. And basically has to, like, the movies come to life, yada yada yada. No spoilers here, but in the movie they reference that Sylvester Stallone had starred in Terminator, and then he's like, yeah, I loved him in that movie. What are you talking about? He was great. I would love to see something like Jamie Priestley coming back and starring in Wolf of Wall Street, and or Tanya or whatever. That'd be really fucking cool if she had like a renaissance. That would be cool. Let's do that. Let's write this movie, guys. Let's do it. Writing Zoom meeting coming up. Casey's here. We got some lady energy, but I think either way, like if you have the squonk, I think I'm gonna implement the squonk in that as well, in the movie somehow. I want him to be a character. I'm gonna get that stimmy. I'm gonna get Wolf of Wall Streeted. I'm going to give my money away to a professional. I'm going to say, because even the money management thing, I feel like they're all bedside manner. They're like the exact opposite of what I look for a lot of times in doctors or mechanics or anything. It's the fact that, like, I want to be able that I think I want to know that I can trust you. They're they're just that. So, like, if you have a really good doctor, usually you got your Patch Adams scenario where they're like, I got my medical knowledge, but also a great sense of humor. Boom, there you go. You need it. It's important. But you want it in your mechanic. You also want it in your doctor. You want it in your money management person. Whereas the money management person, a lot of times, I think, is all that, just like your used car salesman. It's just another spectrum that everybody kind of falls on. The bedside manner, like, spectrum. If you have, like, where a car salesman may be all bedside manner, no real substance. No offense to any legit, honest car salesman out there, but that's the nomenclature, right? Or even let's say a lawyer. Lawyer, like, a lot of times people are like, a fucking lawyer. Yeah. They have to be. They want to be trusted, I'm sure, but they also want to win. They also have to have kind of a poker face. So a lot of them, you want more. So a money management person is somebody that may say, hey, this is what you should do, and hey, I know what I'm talking about, blah blah blah, look at my out. I feel like it's all appearances, and then I go like, here's my money, and then Wolf of Wall Street, boosh, I'm out. Drain my bank account. As soon as I get a little bit of money, I'm out of money. I think I would also be a guy that would sell high immediately. A lot of times, if you know what I mean. Anyway, we got Ian pounding off. He said, bury your cash in your backyard. Banks fail. Nobody understands that, or understands the economy. It goes up, it goes down. No one knows why, but if you have cash, you're good. Everyone's shits on the lawyer until you need a lawyer. Yeah, absolutely. Same thing with doctors or police or anything else. A lot of times you're like, fuck that shit. And you're like, well, that was really cool when they, like, pulled that guy off me. You know, not trying to sound like Red State Pat. No, I think from what I've heard, at least, like I said, the more stimulus is, the more money they print, the less valuable actually cash is. Cash is held, I know, is on a gold standard where it's like it is valued, like every dollar, every cent is per this much weight in gold or whatever it is. I believe that's how it is. That's my very shitty kind of knowledge about it. So it's so yeah, you can have a shit ton of cash, but also cash dissolves. If you watch the show Narcos, another show that I really liked, but I completely identified with the villain. Loved the villain. I was a Pablo Escobar fan the whole time. Yes, even when he blew up the plane of people, he warned the government, you got to leave me alone. You could save these people if you just leave me alone. And they're like, but we can't leave you alone. It's against the law. And he's like, all right, but I'm going to blow them up. I told you, if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to blow them up. I don't agree with killing innocent people. I think it's wrong. But it's 50-50. No, it was terrible. He's an awful guy. But that was a great show.
compelling show, but he buried a ton of cash in the hills, and if it's not wrapped or preserved properly, it fucking dissolves. So even cash, even if it does hold its value, it will eventually. I think I'm somebody who, the more the further we go technology wise and technology driven in a lot of cases, and away from just physical things like physical versions of DVDs or movies or anything like that, VHS, anything. I feel that paper in general will be more valuable later on. So like literal books, literal magazines, not just uh like the words necessarily, but the actual paper itself will actually have a lot of value as well. I hope it doesn't even out to where it's the paper money that you have and the paper like magazine that you have the exact same value monetarily, unless like that just means a huge uptick in magazine value. And then I'm cool with it because I do have some magazines saved. Why the fuck do we still use pennies? Oh, here we go. Ian's coming off with a bit, pounding off hard with a bit in the comments here. Why the fuck do we use pennies? They cost more to make than they're worth. Most countries have dumbed them already. I don't. I mean, but what if you want 6 cents? I would imagine that getting rid of the penny is harder than you think. Like I think you would have to, because you would have to either round up or down, and that could probably dramatically shift a lot of, like, you know what I mean? Like I don't think it's as easy as just saying we're not going to use pennies anymore. Change will be better than paper currency in the apocalypse. Plus, you can throw it at the Raiders. Yeah, leave me alone. Yeah, it's great to throw change at the face of your enemy in a post-apocalyptic duel. John totally agrees. I love the pounding, loving it. I don't know. I shouldn't have played so much Fallout. That's okay, Ron. Don't worry about it. It could work. Who knows? We don't know yet, but definitely I would have to agree with you. Out of the two, I would think that uh, jingle money would work a lot better than folding money. Pounding off hard, agreeing. That's what I do. I agree with Ron. But if you want to have, like, why not go all pennies? And we'll just go very specific. Why not an all penny based system of various levels of? I think just change would be better too, because we have dollar coins. The Sacagawea, huh? Remember it? That gold coin that's fucking rocks that you get at every fucking rest stop. I love that thing. The only reason we use pennies is because of Jamie Presley. Blame her. Wow. Ron pounding off hard. Well, that's another thing for her to redeem in our script that we'll be writing. Our screenplay is going to be coming up with that. Ian's also saying many other countries have done it. Everything there ends in multiples of nickels. I don't know. If I've learned anything, I don't think we learn from other countries. I think that's ultimately the answer. Like if they say like other countries have done it, they'll be like, we're gonna be more like Italy. The aversion that people have in this particular state to roundabouts is astonishing to me. I did a show, I co-hosted a podcast called The Buddha Boys, which is still up. The feed is still available for anybody that is interested in catching up on old episodes. But I know we talked about it multiple times. There was a segment for a local news station near my co-host house in the Cole region, where people would call in to complain about or compliment the co-hosts of the show, the weatherman, anybody on the show about any segments or anything like that, and they would just basically pound off. Essentially, they were calling in as old people calling in and pounding off. And so anytime they introduced, first of all, the news going like, "Hey, by the way, there's going to be a new roundabout here." Anybody that's not familiar, a roundabout is just traffic in a circle. Instead of having like a multiple stops, you just kind of yield to traffic to the left, you idiots, and then you drive into the thing, and then you can take you're supposed to use a turn signal going in and going out, and it's just makes driving easier. And the the people that have pure hatred for the fact that they're bringing a European element to their driving, they hated it. So it is weird that. So I think that's ultimately why we haven't gone to no pennies and or all change, because if other countries have done it, we don't fucking like it. I think that's the ultimate. If their literal pounding off is any judge to or any dis or what is it indication? There it is. That was hard. Tupac wrote a song about the need for change. Tupac was very pro penny. And look where that landed him. Very good point, John. I like that. Ron Barendos also says shakes fist at Jamie Presley. He doesn't agree with Ron saying, but honestly, that's the thing is the Rons are working together against Jamie Priestley now. That's what at least we know now. They've targeted the problem and they're going after it. Ian's also pounding off. He says, while I'm at it, wait, while I'm at it, why the fuck don't we use the metric system? Why might be we might be the only country who doesn't. We don't because we are lazy and ignorant. Many countries teach a second language as part of the curriculum. Curriculum. We are so ignorant, lazy, and behind the times. I'm angry. I'm going for a walk. PA needs more jug handles. Another reason New Jersey rules. Jug handles. That's the thing where when you're driving, you just kind of like go off the exit, like they don't have a full exit or something like that. Is that what you're talking about? Or they go around? Like you can only exit this way and then to go. I don't know if I like that, but I think it's also because I'm not used to it. It's very if you aren't made aware of them ahead of time, they can be very, very jarring. Jug handles can be jarring. The jug, we're having a good time here. We have a really good time, except for Ian. Ian's pissed off apparently at America because we still use pennies. Why spend that much time being angry about pennies though? Yeah, it's shaped like a handle of a jug, so it goes like that, and you go this way. Yeah, I mean, it's not just they didn't just do it. The roundabout is not. They're not putting it in to make your life worse. You fucking idiot. And it's better. Nose is getting stuffed up. I got the window open. I had the heater on up here, and I got fucking crazy hot, and so I had to open the window. Now I think my allergies are acting up, or it's COVID again. Like everything else, it could be just a slight fever, could be nothing, could be sinuses, or it could be COVID. Look, on your tattoo of New Jersey, the artist properly included a jug handle in there. Really? Right here? Somewhere up here? I don't know. It hurts. They cost more to make now than what they're worth. Get rid of them. But are they still making pennies? I say double down. Make twice as many pennies. I say if we're gonna revalue the penny, make the penny valuable again. Why if we're still making them, we have them. If we have them, why not use them until they're gone? So no, let's not get rid of them because then that would be a waste. I say we argue about pennies the entire rest of the show. We have about a half an hour left, and I say we just get into pennies. No, I'm not talking anymore about pennies. I don't give a fuck. Um, on the most. Oh, so by the way, I wanted to remind everybody, anybody joining in live, that if you like the audio only version of this podcast, if you aren't actually able to catch in live and you want to catch the audio only version of this, that's cool. But you should also subscribe to another one that just came out. I was just talking about it in the last episode. I didn't even realize how close it was to being released. It's out now. Audio only versions of WAP. That's right. What about with Andy and Pat are available now. Subscribe to the show, rate it, review it. Let us know. The second episode, we're going to be releasing an episode out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday until we catch up to our regular episodes. And we do stream that show live from Andy's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Andy Malafarina, every Sunday evening uh, between 5 o'clock and 7. Sometimes we have to do 5 because we got other stuff going on. He had the Royal Rumble last time. I have to do the Real Chills podcast. We're busy dudes. You know what I mean? Sometimes we do an extra episode on a Wednesday. Surprise episodes every once in a while. But all of them will be available to you and your ears every week if you just subscribe to What About with Andy and Pat. Actually, I believe it is What About with Pat and Andy, because that's the weirdest thing. Maybe it's something about maybe it's like a manners thing. Maybe it's a weird but every time I feel like What About with Andy and Pat flows better, but Andy always says What About with Pat and Andy. But if he wants to give me top billing, I'll take it. But so it may be under What About with Pat and Andy. Plus you don't get the initials that way. If it's WAWAP, then it's WAWAP. Then you got marketability, you got merch, boom. Who doesn't want a WAWAP? Koozie, beanie. Ron, do you have any kind of ideas for a design for a koozie that I could make? I think that's the merch idea I'm going to go with. The nudie pen thing kind of lost steam, and honestly, I don't know if I want to post for it. So I think we should go with maybe a koozie as a nice merch idea, and I'm thinking something fun for the show. But I not that hey, you're more than welcome to design something is what I'm saying. If anybody actually has an idea for any kind of merch ideas, let me know because I would love to start getting some kind of merch out there on the people. So get the name out there, get the people listening, watching. What About with Andy and Pat as well is something that it's been so much fun to do to catch up on some music that I grew up listening and stuff like that. So make sure to check that out. The BMP logo. I mean, yeah, that could be it. But I want, they're like I got something with farts. I was talking about in the episode about the t-shirts with Dom. Like I love a nice pun. You know what I mean? Maybe one of the photoshops would be cool. Whatever Photoshop we could clear copyright wise. Ooh. And then maybe like just church it up. Or honestly, the 3D thing that you did. If you do the 3D Baby Mermaid logo, that would be fucking dope. That'd be dope, dude. Let's do that one. You like a koozie? Yeah, I love koozies. Bring a bucket. What is this? We literally waste. Yeah, we bring a bucket and a mop for this wawap. That's exactly right. It works. Macaroni in a pot. That's wawap. Jamie Presley. Wawap. that logo doesn't. No, not Jamie Priestley. I don't want that. A 3D, maybe the 3D thing. If that actually came out, I don't know how that came out at all, Ron, but that would be a cool thing that for a koozie. I like it. Baby Mermaid merch would be good. I'm gonna do that. But check out that. Check out the audio only versions of this show. Subscribe to it. If you're listening and you do like it, if you're a fan of the show, wherever you're watching or listening, please just make sure to like, review, subscribe, do all that stuff while you're here. Just do it right now. Click here, click there, do whatever the fuck it is, and tell your friends. Because I want to get koozies in their hands as well. I want to design a cool koozie people aren't embarrassed to use. I want people to be proud of the Baby Mermaid name. And GDP Live, god damn it, as proud as I am to be a peep. I also learned a new term that I wasn't aware of before. That I think I was. I think I was more. I was aware of it, but I didn't know. I guess the term for it. Does that make sense? But before I get into that, as everybody, if you are familiar, if you've been watching since the beginning of February, I have officially dubbed the Word of the Day segment the Words to Celebrate Black History Month segment, and because I learned words, but what good is it for me to learn a French word in the middle of Black History Month, except for unless it was something like Creole.
like gumbo, which is in the list. The gumbo is in the list of words, but today's word of the day is going to be something a little bit different. So make sure to listen to this music while I switch the screen behind me. Thank you. I don't have an updated logo though. So this is a really cool thing. I got into kind of a rabbit hole this morning. I got a little distracted going like researching the term. It's basically the words to celebrate. It's like their terms, I guess, commonly used or coined by African Americans or of past, future, not future, obviously, but over time, and it's stuff that I wasn't aware of, stuff that maybe was possibly taught to me in school. But again, I went to public school in Florida. It might have fell through the cracks, but I don't know if it fell through the cracks on purpose or if it was just me not, you know what I mean? It might be like a thing that like they didn't make it interesting to me, or maybe I just wasn't mature enough to actually realize, like, again, you know, the George Washington Carver, the peanut butter thing, stuff like that. But like, it's got to go on past it, the education of it. So stuff like this. Earlier in the week, I went over actually in the last show, mother wit. Mother wit is a term referring to common sense or like natural intelligence. So like it's your feeling, your gut feeling, essentially. Your mother wit, common sense, kind of like it's I like that, but I didn't. It wasn't like it didn't spark the same thing of me going like, yeah, let me kind of look into that. But something, the other one that I found uh really interesting was the term jump salty, which is actually where the term salty comes from. So like if you say why you salty, why you mad, it is to get angry. And that's something that I had no idea was rooted in Black history. Uh, to get angry, or to like that term for getting angry, but that's way more interesting than to say I'm angry. You know what I mean? Like you got me salty. Yeah, you got me jump salty. That's a way cooler way to say it. Cool as fuck, man. And you learn something. But this is the cool thing. I really like this. This saying, and it's uh the thing I talk about a lot about on What About with Andy and Pat is not being somebody who is drawn to lyrics a lot of times. To me, lyrics are just like poetry, and I don't oftentimes I'm not drawn to poetry. But this particular saying today, the phrase that are the words to celebrate Black History today, are very simply T for the fever, comma, not to take. So it's T for the fever, not to take. I'm Sally Bay sometimes. Hell yeah. So I think sorry, that was Casey pounding off in the comments. So T for a fever, not to take. It appears on so okay, so it's a story by this is when I got into it. So I was like, why am I like I feel like I'm so drawn to this. Like it's cool, but it's like it's almost like lyrical. And then I found out it's from a poet, Langston Hughes, and I was like, oh, I have no idea who the fuck Langston Hughes is, and I'm sure that's shocking. I'm sure that would be shocking to some people. Um, but as a person who's not a fan of poetry, and initially, I know Maya Angelou. Like really, some of the only poets I know like 50, it's like 50% black, 50% white. You got your Maya Angelou, and you got your Edgar Allan Poe. You know, there you go. And you know you don't get you don't get a lot blacker than that. You don't get a lot whiter than that. The Raven, I mean, for fuck's sake, like Nevermore, all that shit, like goth dude. He's super goth. He's like physically transparent almost. But Langston Hughes was an American poet and also a central figure in the Harlem Renaissance. Now, the Harlem Renaissance was something that I did learn more about in as far as painting and stuff like that. Some of the art, the visual artwork of the Harlem Renaissance when I went back to school for audio production.
I really did take to the art history classes that I took, and that is something that I'm very much interested in, and probably should. I actually probably will buy this book, but it's from the Harlem Renaissance. So this is, hold on. Langston Hughes was a central figure in the Harlem Renaissance, the flowering of the Black intellectual literacy and artistic life in that took place in the 1920s in a number of American cities, particularly Harlem. A major poet, Hughes also wrote novels and short stories, essays, and plays. So Langston Hughes is somebody that I was like, uh that was something that like sparked my interest. So for something, so there was another thing with oh, it was Aretha Franklin. That was the other point that was connected to it, was that quote was used about Aretha Franklin, and that the definition of it is my favorite. So to give all this context, I will say, hold on a second, I saved it right here. Okay, so the term tea for the fever, not to take, is not to put up with any nonsense. Teresa is a, so for example, Teresa is a woman with a take no tea for the fever attitude. I fucking love it. It's fucking great. Harlem Renaissance, that gave us Harlem Heat, Booker T. They it's coming for you. Yeah, yeah. I know, I know what you're referencing, John. I love Booker T. But god damn it, it always happens. It always happens right at this time. But I feel like I gotta pee, but I don't want to leave it here. I want to talk more about this because I've had plenty of tea, and I want to show. I want to do more. So I'm gonna do basically what I'm saying is I want to do more research on Langston Hughes and some of his work. So if anybody has any knowledge of some of his better works or more accessible. So not only now am I asking for suggestions, asking for recommendations of stuff, but it's something that I go, I think I would be interested in this. Unfortunately, I have no knowledge of it, but also silver lining, I have no knowledge of it. Booker T TEA. Hell yeah, dude. I love it. John's pounding off hard. John Montag. So if you have any knowledge of some of his better works, just let me know, and I'd be happy to check that out because that's going to be fucking awesome to figure out. I want to, because I love that saying, and I really look forward to, if that's even just a glimpse of like what his work is. I'm excited to find out more about it. But in the meantime, I will play a quick song, a piss track before we get into the next subject, because I don't want any distraction. So check out this song about yawning.
Nick does though. Nick,
yeah, Nick goes, yeah, Nick, yawn. My brother Nick, every time you say the word yawn, he yawns. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, if he hears the word yawn,
Now I really want to yawn.
say it.
Yawn.
Yeah.
Nick. Yeah.
Yawn.
He just did it.
He listens. And he listens.
Doesn't
to
that
the
make you kind of
podcast,
feel
so-
godlike a little bit?
Man, I'm getting tired, Nick. A yawn coming on.
Yawn.
Yeah,
Nick.
he just did it.
Yawn.
Did it.
Yawn.
Yeah.
Nick.
Nick, yawn. My brother Nick, every time you say the word yawn, he yawns. He just did it.
Yawn.
Yeah.
Nick.
He just did it.
Oh, you got a yawn right now, dude.
Yawn.
He just did it.
He listens. And he listens.
Doesn't
to
that
the
make you kind of
podcast.
feel godlike a little bit?
Yawn. 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 Yawn.
Oh, you got a yawn right now, dude. Oh, you got a yawn right now, dude. Hey, baby. I love that I always have a little bit of time to sit and catch my breath. The yawn John. Hell yeah. That was a show. That was again, that was another song from the show Buddha Boys that I co-hosted with a pal of mine, Chris William, and that was a song directed at my brother Nick. That every time you say the word yawn, he yawns. It's incredible. So every time his name came up on the show, we would obviously say Nick yawn, and every time he heard that, he would yawn, even over audio. It was great, wonderful torture for my brother, and something that anytime I get a chance, I love to play it, especially without notice, just happened. So that's really great. But I'm definitely excited to check out Links and Hughes some more and learn more in depth about the Harlem Renaissance and honestly poetry, because that's from one of his I believe that's from his short story. But hey, he was a poet known for his poetry. I'm gonna check it out. We should all play Among Us together sometime. Okay, yeah, we could do that, Ron. I'm down for that. I don't know what it is, but he's sharing his random thoughts, and I'm digging it. I hate feeling rushed at the end of the show, though. I always make it right to the end, and then I just gotta piss like you wouldn't believe. So I hate that feeling of like I don't want to like rush out. But here, I'll erase that. Not gonna. We went hard on snack cakes early on, talking about investing in snack cakes. So obviously got a little bit off topic, but I like it. That's why it's live. I missed somebody trying to call in. This is a first missed caller. I like that. Hey, that's a good problem to have, huh? People want to, but there's so much going on. I can't get to them. Dude, yeah, I would love a pod catheter. Hell yeah, John. John says, John Montag's pounding off. He says we need to get you a pod catheter. I was just thinking, actually, as I was pissing, I was down at the toilet, and I was thinking, first of all, it was close. It was really close. But it's like it's one of those. As soon as your dick got out, I was just like, and immediately. And I was pissing, and I was just thinking, like, you know what? I wish I had one of those little bedside like piss things. Anyway, guys, you would only know because my eyes would go like. But I don't know if I want a catheter. I would take one of those little jugs though. Making eye contact with your viewers while peeing into a catheter is a major power move. Yeah. In general, I didn't realize it could be considered, I could possibly get Me Too'd by Manny and Youngblood because I sat them here one day and just played them the whole catalog of farts that I have. And then eventually I believe it was Manny that brought up like, it's kind of weird to just share all of your bodily functions with me. Like that could be hell yeah. Thanks, Craig. Headband game on point. Fuck yeah, dude. But it is kind of like it's like saying like here, like, because legitimately that's me pissing. That's not like a weird fetish that I have. I just thought it was I was so focused that I never even break stream. You hear I'm never touching the walls. That's all center of the bowl. It kind of varies a little bit at the end. But that's me pulling. I get my phone out of the pocket, unlock it, open up the voice record app, and record that, all while pissing and having to hold that fart in. You know how hard it is to hold the fart in while you're pissing full blast? Some of us know. There's your merch. Forget koozies, GDP branded piss jugs for truckers. Yeah, truckers would love those. Yeah. I thought you were talking about bandanas. So definitely bandanas, koozies, and piss jugs. That's my merch. Piss jugs is easy because really that's just going to be stickers. Then I'm going to buy a bunch of piss jugs, put a sticker on there, and now they're double. I mean, I could try to get them like masks. Nobody's going to want masks anymore. People are going to be traveling so much that they're going to want piss jugs because they're not going to want to stop traveling. I personally know somebody who is going to be driving for their next vacation. You telling me they want a piss jug? They want a piss jug. I will 100% design you
professional looking piss jug label. Fuck yes. Craig's on board. We got a new art dick. We got 3 art dicks of the show: John Montag, Ron Barendro, aka Big Preem, and Craig Paul. We're making piss jugs. No nudie pens. Nudie pens are out. Turns out the market for nudie pens was not as vast as we had thought previously. But piss jugs, yeah. Everybody pisses. That could be what's on the piss jug. GDP, huh? John's made that pun plenty of times. GDP, right? 2 E's. Just slap stickers on Gatorade bottles. Best bottle for piss and to piss into. I don't know. I said it like that. To piss into. Then we got sizes, right? Because if we're ordering piss jugs, I think piss jugs, I don't think you can get like a little piss jug. I think piss jugs come in piss jug size. So if you get different sizes, because you can get like Arctic, like one of those like 32-ounce ones, the 20-ounce ones, right? Then you have like the huge, humongous ones, right? Wide mouth, absolutely. Ron's pounding off. John and I are going to have a private meeting about the third person. Well, that's okay. I understand that. Not your show, but you know what? I appreciate your honesty, and I like you being fully transparent with me about your issues with this. And you know what? I accept it. We'll take a vote. What I look for in a piss jug, also a podcast host. Wide mouth, nice and rigid. Hey, then you're in the right place, Greg. I'll tell you what. Because I'm your piss jug. I mean, podcast host. Every Monday and Wednesday and Friday. Whether it be on Instagram Live at Baby Mermaid Productions, where you can ask to join in. And it's basically like you're calling into the show because your video will be erased at the end. All the pounding that's happened in the comments, that's gone. But it's saved. Your voice is preserved forever here, right here on Facebook and YouTube. So if people want to, or even later on the audio only version, but you know, whatever. If you want to join in, you can, but you don't have to. Oh, between Ron and Craig, I'm just a toddler doodling in crayon when it comes to design. John's very, very, very humble. I like that. John, from you, we have our own show. I stole from you, John. Oh no, hold on. I stole John from you. We have our own show. Okay. Sorry. Read out of context, that definitely that's 3 different messages. So if you don't read that right, I just have to go back to the. Honestly, John can read a lot better than me, and he can spell 10 times better than me. So you guys are good. I still got an art dick though. I don't have an Ass Pro anymore, but thinking about a female line of piss funnels. Actually, I've heard. Fuck, what was it called? There's a funny name for lady pee standing up. Yeah, it's called the. Oh fuck, where is it? The Go Girl. Feminine urination device. It's basically like a funnel, but like you cup it over the vag and it comes out as a stream. It's called the Go Girl. It already exists. We named our production company BB Mermaid Productions. That's okay. I've got this stuff is all trademarked, so whatever. But Craig and I, we're coming out with our own streamline, and you can't be a part of it. So I guess Ron and John, you go ahead and do your own little thing. You got the Ron and John connection, but you got the Craig and Pat connection, making our streamlined lady feminine piss products. So fuck you, pal. Yeah, we'll just rebrand some beer bongs. See, we're on the same page. And guess who's got a ton of beer bongs? John's probably got a ton of beer bongs too. They're probably in storage at his parents' house or something. keep your name out of your mouth. I know, blah, blah, blah. You don't, I can hear him typing it now. I can hear him pounding off. But just quickly, I wanted to get into another thing. The other thing that I was going to, God damn it, Ron, we are missing out on Lady Piss Money. No, yeah, you had your chance. John, I'll tell you what, I'll give you one more opportunity. If you want to leave that old big preem in the dust, you can hop back on. We don't even need to take a vote. Hold on, John. Like game stonks. Oh, no, see? You fell for it, John. This guy's a fucking bot, dude. The other thing that I learned when I did the Real Chills podcast, aside from the squonk, which is very interesting and something that I'm going to do probably a little bit more research on. I'm more interested in the fearsome beasts and stuff like that. I'm going to check that out. But Langston Hughes, I'm going to look up cryptids, real life monsters that are going to be written about, as well as fictional monsters. But I was very interested to find out a term that I think I'm familiar with the actual phenomena, but did not know what the term was, or did not know it had a term, or it was a whole thing. But not only did I learn about a new cryptid, a whole new lane of cryptid in the squonk, but I also learned about a new type of paranormal shit called astral projection. So astral projection is, let me just say, is a term used in esotericism to describe an intentional out-of-body experience that assumes the existence of a soul or consciousness called the astral body that is separate from the physical body and capable of traveling outside throughout the universe. The idea of astral travel is ancient and occurs in multiple cultures. The modern terminology is astral projection. Was coined and promoted, or the term, sorry, astral projection was coined and promoted by 19th century theophysicist. Man, that's a hard word to pluralize. It is sometimes reported in association with dreams and forms of meditation. Some individuals have reported perceptions similar to descriptions of astral projection that were indeed through various hallucinogenic. Oh Jesus! And oh man, I'm fucking. If you could see a lot of this, I'm actually kind of killing this. It's not as bad. It's not as butchery as it sounds. Trust me. Some individuals have reported perceptions similar to descriptions of astral projection that were induced through various hallucinogenic, and hypnotic means, including self-hypnosis. There is no scientific evidence that there is a consciousness whose embodied functions are separate from normal neural activity, or that one can consciously leave the body and make observations. And astral projection has been characterized as a pseudoscience. So immediately the thing that I just explained how interested I was immediately demeaned as a pseudoscience. But I don't give a fuck because I think I fucks with it. And to be honest, even though it didn't sound like it probably, I think I understood a lot of that. So it's essentially my theory of the afterlife, or an afterlife, being just kind of another frequency of the same plane that we're on. So like that's kind of would explain ghosts or something like that, because it's kind of like if anybody's ever seen the show The Leftovers, kind of how it's explained in that series. I won't give away too much, but it's in my personal theory, and this is not to do with that whatsoever. Ron over here talking about bleeps and bloops. Ron Barrendo is an astral projection of the visual artist that made it, and or an AI in the simulation. Okay, machine whirring noises. That's why he likes Nine Inch Nails so much. That makes a lot of sense because he's just a robot. Ron's just a bot. But astral projection is like a thing that in my episode of Real Chills, there is a story that is shared by Meg that is fucking crazy. Again, every time I watch those ghost review videos or ghost review, like I give it a 10. No, any of those ghost countdown shows like the Noob's Top 5 or any kind of ghost shit on the internet, if I see it and I'm like, I can't just explain it. Oh, it's probably this or this is a string or whatever. Uh, it's every time I'm like, if that's real, that's always how I preface it. If that's real, holy shit. So astral projection is the thing that uh when she was explaining the story, I don't want to give the story away because it was fucking crazy. Um it was kind of a thing of like it's just like being like like the frequency of your existence kind of like flickering a little bit. And instead of you seeing one singular part of it, this was a story of like a whole situation of like people kind of being transported to that area. It's nuts. It's fucking crazy. And much like all those other things, if it's true, it's fucking crazy. And it's something that it's almost like lucid dreaming, but for like different dimensions. It's like being able, if anybody's familiar with lucid dreaming, it's basically where you can control what you do. It's literally what you controlling what you do in your dreams. What not necessarily what happens, I don't think. I don't think you can just say, I'm on a boat now. Like I think it's more like you just being present in your dream, not being so out of control and having it seem more like a traumatic experience. But my theory that I explained a little bit on the Buddha Boys was uh and what I kind of explained a little bit, not as well on the podcast with them, was like when you go to sleep, you're actually kind of visiting the spirit world, and the whole time you're awake is like a reverse. So yeah, maybe they're doing the same thing over and over. They're walking up and down your stairs every night, but they're actually just having a dream where they're doing that. But it's your daytime. You know what I mean? Like it's their dream world is when they haunt us, and our dream world is when we're actually haunting them. So we haunt them just as much as they haunt us. It was actually a really fun movie idea that I thought would be kind of cool, but I didn't figure out exactly how to do it. Plus, I also like I'm gonna fucking write a movie. What am I in it? What am I fucking like prolific or whatever? You ever look into the ways you can train yourself to control lucid dreaming? No, that's the thing. I've read parts of it. I know that there's like if there's like a doorknob or a light switch, or if there's a thing like you can tap to ignite, like, so say you're dreaming that you're in your room, there's a thing that you can touch that like you touch it so many times when you're awake that you know the touch, that you can do that mentally in your dream where you've done it so many times, and then when you do that, that roots you in that reality. That's as close. So I haven't really done a lot of research into it, but just what I've heard, like some methods that you can do to control your dreaming. Because once I heard that at a young enough age that I was like, so I can have those sexy fucking dreams. Like every once in a while, when you have those awesome dreams that you're like the crush that you like, or the celebrity that you love, or whatever it is that you're having at that super like hormonal times. And even not even now, if I had a dream with like about Scarlett Johansson or something like that, I'd be like, God damn, I want to go back to sleep and get back into that part. I want to go back to that time. That's like, that's my first thought was how can I use this masturbatorially? Was like, can I just go, I can go into a dream and go right into Selma Hayek's house and have her be into it, so it's not weird. But then that's still weird, right? Because then you're controlling it. So morally, lucid dreaming, sex, not okay. Craig said, trying to read in dreams often kicks me into lucid dreaming. Okay. Maybe I should try that. I should try to read in dreams. I had a dream I was dating Mark Norman last week. It was so vivid. That's Casey, not John. That's pretty. Yeah, it's one of those things where like in the dream you're so even if you could learn lucid dreaming so that when you do have those dreams and you wake up, so you don't catch feelings for like Mark Norman or something like that. So you don't come out of it going like, man, what if me and Mark Norman met? You know, or whatever it is, like you, because it's not gonna be like that if you meet. It's, you know what I mean? It's a dream. It's your projection of reality. But astral projection makes it feel like it's not just your reality, it's a different reality. And that's what the cool thing about it is. So I kind of skipped over lucid dreaming and I'm just right into astral projection. I'm going to try to get in there and just project some astrals right up. So that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be learning about Langston Hughes, astral projection, and I'm going to be ordering a book I probably will never read. John's also saying you woke up from a dream where you are about to thug Margot Robbie, then you wake up and try to re-enter the dream, but now you're with Jamie Presley. Boom, win-win. Same thing. Yeah, even if I could even if I could lucid adjacent dream, even if it's like good enough. There you go. She was Margot Robbie at one point. Go for it. Oh man, you guys are great. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining the show. Make sure that you check out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. on Instagram at Baby Mermaid Productions or on Facebook on the Gross Domesticated Podcast page. And if you're listening, please like, subscribe, review, write us a review. I'll read it on the show. I'll fucking share any of the feedback that I get, whether it's good or bad, and you know that's true. Shout out to fucking Tom One only. I love everybody.
Gross.